top two and Surledge elements and all the support options available. And Shadoweh has a team of misfits. Um, yeah, okay, I'll say what I think is pretty strong for Shadoweh from the get-go. I do think that the Alolan Persian is probably going to be very nice. Possibly even the Bishop as well, if the Bishop intends to Terra. Mostly just because, like, I think foul play is insanely good into this team. And Alolan Persian with, like, taunt, foul play, fake out, icy win, just kind of, like, wrecks the team because you can taunt the support options, you can foul play the threats in Surledge and Salamence, and you can icy win all these guys to slow them down. So I think the Persian could be really nice. Other than that, Gramble for Intimidate is alright. And Blaziken probably just do Blaziken things. The rest of these mons don't look insane. Maybe Suicune with a more offensive build this week could be good because you have a water move for Cerulege and you have ice move for Salamence. Pachirisu can just redirect stuff, so I do think it's going to be a lot on probably Persian to just taunt stuff and clear the way for your other mons to be able to do anything really. But let's just hop into the game and see. Pachirisu Cerulege lead. Okay, and we see a clear amulet on the Cerulege. Whenever I see a Pachirisu lead with something beside it, I instantly presume that there's two things that the Pachirisu really likes to do. It's either gonna click follow me so that the mon beside it is able to click setup move like a sword stance or bulk up, or it's going to click super fang so that the mon beside it is able to instantly pick up a KO. From what it looks like right now, I don't think the Surledge is actually able to pick up a KO on either of these mons without a boost. So I do expect Pachirisu to just click follow me and then a bulk up or sword stance from Surledge this turn. Uh so yeah, what Shadoweh should try to do is either like set up the tailwind so you're able to outspeed guarantee the next turn, or just focus down the Pachirisu completely. So Terra goes. Neither of those things happen. It's a nuzzle and bulk up. Okay, player off goes into the Pachirisu. The tailwind does get set up. I am okay, I guess it's fine that Follow Me wasn't being clicked because with the Terra Ghost, neither of these mons probably hit it that for like super effective damage. So getting the nuzzle off onto Suicune is probably entirely fine. Uh Now the scary thing is the Cerulege able to bulk up again? I do think with the Tailwind that the Grand Bull should be able to outspeed and kill the Pachirisu, which it really should because a Super Fang onto either of these slots right now with Terracos plus Bulk Up is a KO. So you definitely don't want to let the Super Fang go off. But then you still have a boosted Terra's Cerulege on the field, which is really scary. But that comes out. That comes out with Pachirisu as well. Okay. Pretty uneventful turn. I do think that it's probably fine. Yeah, I don't hate any of the plays this turn. Follow Me comes out. Play rough misses, which is really unfortunate. Poltergeist kills it in one. That is not good. That is really not good. I mean, it is a +1 Terra Ghost Edge, but that is rough implications for future games. Scott goes out, manages to finish off the Pachirisu.
The
Never
thing
saw the
that's
Pachirisu.
really
Mhm.
oh, good.
Go on.
The thing that's really interesting to me about the board state over the past couple turns is because of how early Daiya opted for the Ghost Terra, it was possible for Cerulege to get burned by the Scald on Suicune. And
It
if
was.
if that if that does happen, Granted, it has not been targeted yet, but if that does happen, looking at the Pokemon that we've seen from Dai so far, Ceruledge is her main win con.
I agree.
So
But also, like,
if
with the
that
follow
does get
me,
burned, it's pretty rough.
yeah. But like, I think with the follow me support from Pachirisu, I think it's very unlikely that Scott ever goes into it. And like I said, the Super Fang threat is so big that um you probably just want to be able to focus down the Pachirisu. So the protect was actually like kind of really nice because it exerts a lot of pressure just existing on field.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
So Sneasel comes out, uh Bishop comes out. I do think that it's a pretty safe for daiya to just click fake out into the Bishop and poltergeist into the Suicune. Suicune is paralyzed, so the tailwind kind of neuters it. And like I said, I don't think the Suicune actually can do much to Ceruledge. Like you could burn it with Skull, but that it's not doing like insane damage. And we've already seen the covert cloak on the Pitbull thanks to Poltergeist, so you know that fake out is going to guaranteed flinch the Bishop. I hope Daiya doesn't click fake out into the Suicune because it's in a focus and it just won't get flinched. Uh, yeah, I do think like a fake out or even depending on Terra, it's Terra flying, yeah. So you can't just like rip close combat into it safely, but definitely you could just like click fake out to the Bishop and pull the guys in the Suicune. So Bishop protects, expecting a fake out, correct? Makes sense. Oh, but Bitter Blade comes out into the Bishop. Yeah, I don't think that was necessary because like if Bishop is expecting to fake out from the Sneasel, you don't actually have to double that slot. You could easily just put damage into Suicune. So I don't know if I like that move. It's like a kind of like quote unquote hard read that the Bishop is gonna do something, but yeah, I think fake out was just fine and then put damage into Suicune. So yeah, now the Bishop Terrace and it can easily click Sucker Punch. I don't know if Sucker Punch actually kills Ceruledge with the bulk up boost, but considering how much the raw Scout did, there's a decent chance that it does. And yeah, because Daiya didn't manage to get damage down onto the Suicune, like if Daiya had clicked Poltergeist into the Suicune, it's possible that the Sneasel could have just like clicked close combat to the slot after the Poltergeist damage and killed it. But now there's a chance that shadoweh could easily kick Scald into one of these slots, which would be good either way. Or just set up Tailwind again, which would be pretty bad for Daiya. Because I did mention that, I thought Daiya's team was insanely strong. The one thing that doesn't really have is insanely fast speed control. And so if she does lose speed control with the Tailwind going up again, the rest of this game could turn out pretty bad. So I have to see. It does click protect, expect all with the coaching boost, but Bishop clicks sword stance and not sucker punch. It just trust that it would live whatever hit it comes out, which is risky. If I think if Daiya did go for the read and click Poltergeist even at +1 with Terra, I think the Bishop may or may not drop. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, yeah, coaching comes out behind the protect, sword stance comes out, and the tailwind goes up again. So yeah, not a very good turn for Daiya at all, and very good turn for shadoweh. Yeah, I think this all just really is a snowball of the previous turn where Dai just clicked Bitter Blade into the Bishop. Because if the Poltergeist came out, the Tailwind wouldn't be able to go up. Sneasel would be able to just hit the Suicune, and I think the Ceruledge should have been able to, instead of clicking Protect here, just attack the Bishop with Bitter Blade. So yeah, this is now a very bad position for Daiya. Sneasel just switches out, and it lets in the Salamence just get Oko. Scott comes in, but now it's 100% in fake out range. Fakes out the Suicune, even though that has inner focus. And Poltergeist, yeah. It looks like Daiya has a very bad habit of clicking an attack into the same mon that she's already clicking fake out on. So for one, she tried to fake out probably inner focus Suicune, and two, she's just constantly doubling the mon with Ceruledge. So I think Daiya's early game plan wasn't bad, but the mid game was pretty botched. That's what I would say. Like you can't be wasting attacks with your boosted Surge like that. And I think in the end, that's what caused her to lose this game one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think in terms of the game plan from this is from before the battle starts, this is what I want to do. I think Dai's game plan is very strong. And
Yeah.
just a few calls that shadoweh ended up getting correct ultimately ended up kind of swinging that game in her favor.
Yeah. Shadowway definitely did need to make those calls to win, but also I do think that Daya had pretty a lot safer plays that you can make. And I think in terms of VGC, I think one thing that people need to realize is that um, you need to know when you need to make hard reads, but you also need to know when you can just afford to make mid grounds. And I think when you have fake out on your team, it's very easy to make mid grounds because you can always just fake out one slot and attack the other. And that's just something that Daya either isn't internalizing or just doesn't feel like she's comfortable making that play. Like yeah, if she just had split the fake out plus um Savage targets, this game could easily swung in her favor. Yeah. On game two. Now it's a Sneasel Sceptile lead. Uh okay, this is interesting. I do think that probably there is a possible speed tie between these two fake out users. So I do think that the bishop is probably going to be forced to click protect because there's no guarantee that you're actually going to faster fake out onto the Sneasel. Either that, or the bishop just instantly rips Terra and tries to sword defense. But the Sneasel just fakes out that slot anyways. It's kind of sad. So I probably is safer for the bishop to click protect and for the Persian to just do whatever. From Daya's point of view, definitely fake out the bishop. You don't want it to get an SD for free with Terra. And I'm presuming the Sceptile is Shedtail, but I could be wrong. It could be set up as well. Okay. Okay. Instantly, I don't like it because it looks like shadoweh is completely disrespected the fake out into the bishop slot, and it's probably going to go for an SD. The fake out goes into the Persian instead, and the Shedtail comes out. But this is going to be a +2 bishop, I'm presuming. Yep, that's a +2 bishop, and this is not a very good spot for Daya because I mean Sarlich has come in and it's probably going to get a coaching boost, but I think the bishop is going to be able to attack the slot twice without dying. Yeah, coaching comes out, foul play as expected, and then the bishop is going to be able to attack it. Yeah, bitter blade is not going to do enough. Oh, but the bishop goes for the Sneasel instead. Okay, step punch into the slot. Shedtail again into the Ments. Foul play into protect. Okay.
I
Uh,
can explain why I did that.
yeah, sure.
I actually just wasn't sure what foul play would do, and I only had sucker punch on the Bisharp.
Oh, was the bishop not running a? All right,
It
because
had
it's okay.
Bisharp and Iron Head, which like Iron
Yeah,
Head is not going to damage the Sarah Edge.
yeah, fair. Okay, Iron Head Sucker Punch protects SD. So, mm, I do think that like it was pretty unlikely for the Surlich to click bulk up again, and even if it did click bulk up again, I think the foul play from Persian keeps the Surlich very honest. Like because even though it's boosting its defense, it's also boosting its attack. So you're constantly going to be able to do very consistent damage. It's stab foul play, by the way. So there's no way that Surlich can actually like boost to the moon without being killed by the Persian. So I do think that it was pretty safe to just like foul play and sucker punch that slot.
And something
Yeah.
else that's really cool with this Persian and Bisharp combo is that if the Salamence is Intimidate, then that's going to be excellent for the Bisharp. If it's Moxie, then the foul play on the Persian serves as a good form of insurance against the Salamence just getting out of hand.
sort of. But also, I do think that if the Persian is running Icy Wind anyways, the Salamence can't actually ever get out of hand, even with or without foul play for the Moxie. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, we've seen this protect into the Shed Tail. Salamence Terras into the Steel typing, which I guess would be specifically for Iron Hit from Bishop, but Bishop just brings protect. Foul play goes into Zero Ledge, and it just Okos. Yeah. Um, I'm a bit surprised that it was a Oko, but I'm not surprised that it does a ton of damage. So, that's why I think the Sucker Punch of foul play was always going to be safe because this guy can't afford to not click attacks. Yeah, we can see that with the fur coat, it's just not doing enough. Cement is not set up. I don't really see a good way for Daiya to win from this spot. Yeah. I think in general it's just it has looked like a gross mismanagement of um our own team. I think again like there's very clear play adjustments that could have been made. For example, like this turn one is just um like I do think that shadoweh should just conserve the Terra and just protect the bishop. I don't think you can ever afford to make that gamble as die. Yeah, you have to respect that it could just Terra and SD because it's very clear, like it has been clear that you aren't able to deal with the bishop when it's Terra at +2. So you can't just let it have the opportunity to go for that in the first place. So yeah, I think that was just a pretty big misplay from turn one that just allowed this game to snowball off hand.
The reason I was willing to do that is I thought that she would fake out my cat so that I couldn't fake out the shed tail.
I get that, but also like I don't think that the Sceptile should be too worried about that because for one, it's just naturally faster than the cat, so it could always just shed tail the next turn. The cat isn't ever killing the Sceptile in one, so you can always fake out the bishop and try to shed tail, and if it doesn't work because the cat fakes out the Sceptile, you can always shed tail on the turn two, and then the next turn Caesar tries to actually attack the bishop so it's not full health with Violite and Terra and everything at +2. So yeah, I do think that Daiya absolutely had to respect that. And she didn't and got punished. So yeah. Lesson learned, kids, don't be greedy. You have to respect a threat when it's clearly trying to set up. Yeah. That's in general something that people should be watching out for. It's always just like either like I said, the follow me mod next to a setup mod or a fake out mod next to a setup mod. Like that's basic quote unquote combos that you can be looking out for that can tell you what direction someone might want to take with their team.